Anyone at MRPD can take me over to Marshall Brooks at the basketball court, please?
On my way back, just hold tight.
Jesus Christ, you take
Hey,
goddamn
Mr.
forever,
Knight.
Marshall.
How we doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. So, to start off, last night around 4:30 a.m., I was a little bit too cooked to have a real conversation. Now, I do fully understand the bigger picture of what you were explaining, even though I couldn't articulate that with my own words at the time. Can you open up your MDT and go to report 20204? I've not really cooked
At 4
but
o'clock?
I've done this today. It was 4 a.m. last night when we were talking about this. I've not really cooked, but I've set the foundation to cook. Okay, so you know, there's a little bit of there's a chef in the kitchen right now.
Okay.
There's a chef in the kitchen. So what this is, you got the report?
Yeah.
So this is my official investigation report where we're going to start building evidence, okay? So we've got the Blarneys investigation. The objective of this is to determine whether Blarneys Hookah Lounge is being used to front for the illegal sale of marijuana, okay? Officers
And
investigating
if
as of
not,
now.
elements of it.
As of now, there's me and you investigating this. So far, I've got a few Blarneys employees that are confirmed. So Alfonso Sebastian often twats that Blarneys is open and advertises Blarneys on 11 list. Now, I haven't got evidence of this yet, but I have seen it. I just need to wait for him to advertise them. Larry Knox, so Officer Frost has personally dealt with Larry Knox at Blarneys, where Larry Knox has been seen working. Carlos Santos was confirmed by the 11 list advertisement last night in Randy Jackson's statement. The only related incident right now is 13366, where we apprehended him stemming from a shooting, found 85 grams of Harry Brown on him.
Yep.
The initial findings.
Harry
so
Brown is a member of Cyprus.
Yep. So the initial findings, we've got the incident 13366 that we went through last night. We've got the interrogation where he admitted he often goes to Blarneys to shoot dice and gamble. So we do have confirmation that this business is being used for illegal gambling. Even though that isn't a charge, we do have confirmation that that is what they're doing there. Randy also told us how he gives Carlos Santos rides in his taxi to Blarneys, where Carlos invites him to shoot dice and gamble, giving us evidence that Santos does work at Blarneys. Now, the next steps in this investigation are going to be surveillance. So we're going to have officers like myself watch the business for suspicious activity. What we're going to be looking for here... No, too much?
Yep. Because right now, like, we kind of think that's happening, sure, but surveillance means we're going to get caught. I think what we want to do is monitor is a better word.
That's a better word. Okay.
Yes. Surveillance means like cameras.
Yeah, true.
Going
true,
like,
true.
you know, being a little more in there. Instead, we're going to monitor these individuals.
What I meant for like surveillance was like, you know, if there's drug calls there, we get a photo of the call. We go and see if we can see anyone there.
I wouldn't go that deep. And I'll tell you why in this case. Those drug calls are ass because we go down there, the sale's already made, right? And also we go down there, they're going to play games. So monitor would be if we happen to be there.
Okay.
Or, hey, a report came in from Cyprus. Does it mention any of these names? You know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
The other thing to monitor, and I want to make sure we don't lose scope of, just so I don't forget, is this Mirror Park Mafia with Courtney.
That is mentioned.
Good.
So in here it says Randy Jackson was shooting his opposition Mirror Park Mafia, who we have reason to believe is led by Courtney Garcia outside of Blarneys. So I have got that in there. One of my other next steps, I mean, we can just cross these off. I've crossed the surveillance one off for now. Is connections. So establish who works for Blarneys. Photos of anyone advertised in the lemon list, any twats about Blarneys, and I did put photos of individuals there through like the surveillance, but we'll get rid of that for now as well. The other thing, I was going to look at complaints and calls. So violence, gunshots, any 911 calls, any statements pertaining to Blarneys. You know, I was just cooking with what I thought, right? This is why I brought you in.
This is very good.
This
is very good.
The additional guidance, you know?
So one thing I do want to mention, and I know you were cooked yesterday, always reserve time for figuring out what the right set of charges are and what your next step might look like. And the next step isn't definitive, but rather your next step would be, it might be A, it might be B, it might be C. What do I need to do to make sure I don't screw that up? Now, the reason I say this, and I get you are cooked, this is why I'm saying always reserve time, right? Is because placing charges is a strategy. The first strategy is, well, the first thing is you don't want to accidentally put a charge that's too much and they plead not guilty. And now if that incident ends up being a building block in a bigger case, the defense attorney could throw out that foundational charge, thus collapsing the rest of your tower. Make sense so far? The second is,
yes,
what can I go in there, make him plead guilty on, and therefore you've got that block secured for when you need it within that 30-day window.
No, I get it.
The next is strategically, what is the next building block set of charges if this continues? And that's why we push felony intent to distribute, right? Or no, criminal transaction of drugs.
Yeah.
Because 3 of those, you have a pattern, which means felony intent to distribute. I have noticed that we're not pushing that a lot. That's huge.
We're about to change this, Sergeant.
Yes, exactly. So
I also
right now, what our main goal is, we're starting to build that case, and eventually we may, for example, if we had actually gotten a photograph, like sometimes you can actually get felony intent to distribute without needing transaction, depending on how much we found, right?
Yes, okay.
And what they're willing to admit to. So the next thing I want to paint a picture of here is I want you to imagine that what we're seeing right now in Cyprus is that Blarneys, as of right now, as far as we're concerned, it's a legal business. However, some elements may be either working there, right? Maybe using it as a front. Now, to be clear about this, 90% of that business could be clean, but maybe a couple employees are slinging some shit. And if they're not slinging it there, they might be slinging it around there, right?
Yep.
And we don't really know the up and down. And the reason I say it that way is this is one of those things where it's, well, we know Blarneys is a front. If we go down that angle, it could actually turn out we're wrong, right?
It could.
For example,
you are right.
Sebastian might be just too aloof to realize what the fuck his friends are doing. Because let's be real, Alfonso's kind of a pussy, you know, and someone might be like, he might be like, hey guys, stop selling drugs across from my business. And they might be like, shut the fuck up, Sab. And then they're like,
it would make sense. It makes sense.
God, okay.
Okay, well, like I said, this wasn't me sort of going balls deep on Blarneys. This was me just setting up a foundation so that me and you now can.
This is perfect.
This is just me painting a picture of what I've got in my mind for me to then fly off your guidance, right?
Yep, absolutely. And I love what you did here. I also,
if you look at the photos, I also got a little interior shot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit! All right, I fuck with this. I fuck with this.
Cover, you know what I mean?
You know, here's the next thing. Is I think we want to learn more about Carlos. I really want to learn about him. Let me see. Let's look up Carlos.
Yes, and this is why I've got this here, Blarneys.
They really fucked up with that one.
So we can build on to these Blarneys employees I've got here and just build like statements and what we know and just build a picture in this investigating report, which will help sort of build just more foundation, right? I could put in there actually that we.
Oh my God, Jonah Heidel. Carlos has been found with Jonah Heidel. Jonah Heidel is one of in Sab's little like circle of Blarneyers. I know because I was jokingly saying, "Is this one of your drug sellers, or like one of your like weed grinders?" And they're getting pissed at that, and they said this in a court case, like jokingly, unjokingly. I don't know. We don't know for certain, but I'm noticing he's popping up. Wait a minute. Look at 12974.
Report or incident?
Incident. What is this?
12974. Jonah Hill reckless evading. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's got Alfonso in it, but he was a citizen. Wait.
Yeah, because they were probably in the vehicle. Randy Jackson's in this.
Yes.
Oh,
wait.
shit.
Okay, this is good.
Oh,
this is good.
nah.
Right, let's read this. So
I remember yesterday he's like, I don't know who he is, like, you know, blah blah blah.
Well, Carlos isn't involved in this, no?
Carlos works. He is Carlos Santos, Randy Jackson, RO original car. His statement's
perfect.
not. Yeah. Oh,
so
bro.
So, okay, right. I'm gonna reference this incident in this report as a connection of Randy and Carlos.
Yeah.
Okay, let's create this.
And Alfonso, which is the owner, right?
So. So incident 12974 gives us reason to believe that Randy Jackson, Carlos Santos, and Alfonso Sebastian are connected.
I wouldn't. That's too strong of a statement.
Know each other. Give us reason to believe that they
might be.
Okay, gives us reason to believe that Randy Jackson, Carlos Santos, and Alfonso Sebastian might be connected. Okay, we've got that incident in there too now.
Yeah. And then maybe in parentheses, need more, right? Because right now, this is like, okay, cool, they've been together, right? Well, let's read this statement.
Yeah,
Anything in
I think
here?
I think we need at least probably 3 incidents to give us real probable cause that they are affiliated, right?
Yep. I think the other thing we want to look at, the things to look out for, is look for Harry Brown.
Wait,
we should.
Jonah Heidel was found. What was he found with? What was his possessions here?
Makeshift firearm, pharmaceutical drug, which is the oxy. No marijuana.
Okay. No marijuana. Okay.
We want to look to see where Harry Brown is. So, like in a to-do list somewhere, we should look through old reports and see if we can find any Harry Brown that's been picked up.
I mean, we can just put this in the next steps here. So, what? So check for incidents involving Harry Brown.
Check it, put in a pack, okay.
Let's have a look. Let's see what we can find.
Chat, is in a pack okay?
Okay, let's have a look. Roof run turned iOS.
Chat, put him in a pack. Wait, that blue vehicle in this incident, 12974, is Carlos Santos's. That's an interesting point. I'm going to keep looking at other reports, see if anything else is popping
I'm going
up.
through one here. We've got Cyprus drug trafficking, where Harry Brown was charged.
Wait, when?
So look at incident 10545. So it says Cyprus Drug T, where they responded to drug trafficking call from
Was
Mirror
it
Park of a
10545?
Yeah. Incident.
That's too old. I
This
would
is too
ignore
old,
it.
right?
Yeah. Like we
It doesn't look
could,
like
but
there's
it's like
too much fresh on Mr. Brown here, really. It
Polito
doesn't get
Bank,
caught a lot.
Carlos Santos, and Bo Bummer. I don't know who that is.
Bo Bummer.
7704.
Knox Family OIS.
South Cyprus. Interesting.
Wait, Liquid Library Stolen TV. Carlos Santos Alfonso Sebastian. Incident 12638.
Oh, fuck. Wait, which one?
12638.
I was there for this one.
So, what's this? Vamos helped Alfonso Sebastian and the driver Carlos Santos out of the vehicle after Carman used a fire extinguisher. So they were in the same vehicle together.
Alfonso, Carlos, and Renato are coming up a lot.
Yes. Okay, so we can reference this as well as another connection to Carlos and Alfonso. I'll pop this in.
I don't think this is a Cyprus thing. This is a Blarneys thing. I don't think we should, because I feel like calling this Cyprus is downplaying.
I've not actually mentioned Cyprus.
That is true. That is true. But the reason I'm bringing it up is we tend to, in the PD, understandably, like this gang, right? When referencing them. But the thing is, a lot of gangs nowadays are significantly bigger than they ever once were. So I think we need to actually consider and maybe advocate for a tag for Blarneys.
I agree. I'm pretty sure that's something that you can do.
I could. I don't want to do it yet.
Yes, I agree. We don't have enough yet. But it's definitely something we can look at.
Because when I think of other people that are in Cyprus or even this like north-south shit, it's only a handful of names are popping up, right? Now, there could be like a wider net here, right? Like it could be just reasonably Sab is operating, let's say, a weed op, or he's or maybe this Carlos guy is through Blarneys, whatever it might be. It's a very specific section.
The only reason why we can sort of articulate that it's connected to Cyprus is due to the fact that a few of these members are Cyprus, and you're not going to be doing illegal activities on someone else's turf. That's sort of like an unwritten rule, right? No one's going to let that slide.
Yeah.
But that still isn't giving us enough to say it is Cyprus, right? They could have they got a deal going on, anything. Who knows, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because like even as we're kind of like rummaging through this, it's Sebastian, Carlos, Ronaldo, or whatever, and then like one or two others, right? But notice how there's no other names sort of popping up, and those could exist, but this is actually really good. It lets us focus a little bit more.
It does. But it's a good start.
Yeah, I agree. You want to drive and talk?
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, the philosophy behind the raid. The reason I was kind of against the raid.
No, I got what you meant. I just couldn't speak to you back. I was so fucking tired.
Oh.
I fully understand. Us doing that raid, we're just fucking... We're essentially raid chasing. It's not.
Yeah,
right.
there's no like,
yeah, legally we can do it, but is it morally right? Probably not.
No, it's morally right. I think it's morally right.
Oh, let me.
I just think
I'll meet you outside. Let me park this up.
Yeah.
Well, let me just mark myself under you real quick.
So I'm gonna like notate some. My brain works faster than my ability to explain sometimes.
Okay.
So
I'm dumb as fuck, so I take it in slower than you explain sometimes.
So I'm gonna like note. In other words, my strategy tends to go pretty deep, and it takes a minute to explain the strat, right? So why no raid? I'm gonna give you the positive is we might find something. The negative is not actually their rights. Fuck their rights. They can suck a dick.
Okay.
But I mean, their rights matter. But the first is you alarm them.
Yes. So now every single person who's related to Blarney thinks, oh shit, Carlos got raided. Let's fucking hide all our shit.
Yeah.
Then we do all this investigation, then find a fucking thing, and then we look like
exactly.
And all we found was a couple of makeshift pistols and maybe a fucking Molotov in these 17 cars. I get it.
As a pump, it's good because you might, if you pump enough, 1 out of like 5, you might get a big boy hit.
Yeah, so for example...
And that's kind of cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's not satisfying, I think, because you didn't actually uncover anything. And what's worse is that a pump in San Andreas, you know what that's going to look like? It's going to be like, oh, cool. Like, let's say we found a bunch of drugs, whatever, and now there's a court case in 30 days. Reality is they're going to fucking execute that bitch or whatever, and now someone else has got it.
Yeah.
So you haven't really diverted anything. You've just kind of slowed them down, right? You slowed them down, and now this where the operation continued is now even more like impossible, right? So it's kind of a false narrative. Now the second is now, and you could chain raid and stuff. Don't get me wrong; it's a strategy, right? And the second is Cypress aren't grinders. I would only pump a grinder. Like, I don't mean an individual, but a group that is mostly just grinding, right? Because you ain't going to get any back and forth, right?
That's what I was about to say, right? So say, for example, this guy here had no connections to Blarneys. He was just a dumbass who we caught with a gun, and Carlos didn't have any connections. Then boom, that is a pump, right? We raid Carlos,
exactly. There is no further lead.
Here, we don't do that.
So exactly. We're trying to figure out, what is this network? What do they do? Who are the players? Figuring out where this stuff could be. And then you know what an actual raid would look like? You actually not lock down not one person, but 3 people, let's say. And now you're going in full, tack, kicking all those doors in, so there is no opportunity to move the shit. Right?
Yeah. I get it. Shit. This shit gets to me, man. You know, it makes me feel right.
Well, it's now what you're doing is, if this is what we think it could be, you're aiming to figure out a network and targeting the network. Now, we're never gonna don't get it twisted. We're probably never gonna fully shut anything down, right? But you're gonna do more damage that way, and actually fuck them up, right? And the right way, and have a solid case versus, say, So what was it? It was that. What else? Oh, the third point why I didn't want to do the raid is the waste of time, right? Because like I said, 1 out of 5 times you'll find something. We would have spent last night writing a warrant, waiting for the judge. Now we go in there, and there might be a shootout. Wait, there was nothing inside. And then you're like Rebozo. You know what I mean?
Yep, I get it.
And
I do get it. I will admit, I was a little horny last night. I was a little excited.
No, that's perfectly fine. And I recognize that we have a culture in the PD that isn't very big picture. That's fine. It just hasn't been built up, with this generation. And so there's going to be a lot of things where I'm going to be very yappy about to like try to paint an alternative way of looking at things. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the thing is, through your experience and positions, I am never going to have a doubt in my mind that even if I feel against it, what you're telling me is wrong.
Yeah.
So, I'm always going to take it on board and try to do the right thing in what you want me to do,
Yep. So okay. Oh yeah, we need to get timestamps. Put a to-do in there
let me add it in.
Have Brian put the interrogation tape from 8/3/2025 into the report so we don't forget. So that's ends up becoming not admissible.
Okay, that is now there.
I think the next thing we want to look at here is I do think at some stage when it feels right, we bring in my son.
As like a CI?
Yeah, maybe not. Remember he was tweeting last night?
Yeah. Also,
not as a CI, but to see what that's about.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if it's like what the fuck that is. I'm gonna be honest. It could just be like a 1, 2, 3 date thing, or maybe it's something that's been going on for a minute. He's in Hydra, right? They're not gonna snitch out Cypress,
right? Even if they do snitch out Cypress due to the demeanor of those tweets, so we have acknowledged that there is hostility there, and he could potentially lie to get his ops, done, right? So we have to tread carefully on that too. There was a twat earlier where Kian McNulty twatted Blarneys refuses to hire Irish people, which makes me think that he was maybe speaking to them earlier, trying to get a job.
Wait, say again?
So there was a twat earlier from McNulty. Blarneys refuses to hire Irish people.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would note that because why would you deny a cop?
Exactly, right? He's an upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
I haven't noted it anyway. It's just something that I took personal note of,
We're going to do... We're going to do I
believe Vonnie is in a trance.
We're going to do what I call like a police drive-by, where we...
Yeah, he's just standing on the roof in a trance.
Huh?
No,
oh, shit, yeah. We scared him. He probably was in a stolen car.
Off topic, back to it. We were like, okay, this night has been way too fucking SBS filled. Let's get away with this. And then we got fucking shot.
I can't believe...
Vonnie, are you on freak?
You see what I did right there? I called that a drive-by. And then we do not come back. You know what I mean? Not suspect anything. We look over there, see what's going on.
I can literally see him running on the roof, and he's just not answering.
Well, he might be on channel 2, that's why.
So last night, Hades was targeting Aaron again. And over this whole arrest from a couple days back.
Bonnie,
and
to the hospital, please?
And it turned into a whole thing, and then Ray's complaining to me, and then he ends up grenading my car. I see the grenade in his hand.
Okay.
I don't think we ended up putting any warrants out. Yeah, it's been spicy. I told them I'm not interested in investigating. They're around way too late. How you doing?
Today's a blessing. How you guys doing?
Can you search Slaps Diaz?
Yeah, I know Slaps. He is a small-time kind of criminal. Let's have a look. Yeah, no affiliation. He has robbery of a security firm. Not many charges.
Wait. That vehicle, I eyed it. And
MS Bonnie is gonna go with you.
because it looked like Carlos's same color, the Astron, and it just tucked back here. What is that?
Where?
Behind that Vapid. That's fucking sus, bruh. I'm gonna pull that shit over.
Okay.
You see that red and white building? It tucked behind that.
Yeah, I see it. Okay. Oh, I hear it. I think. No, I don't.
You watch behind? I'm gonna watch forward.
Yeah, I've got behind.
We just hitting this guy with possessions?
It saw us, and then it... You know what?
Roger that.
It saw us, and then it just dipped.
He was just wrong. You'll see.
Roger that.
Still back there. Why would you go back there when you see us? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe, yeah. Like, it's like he saw me turn the bend, and he went in here and went back.
Ones are back clear, code 4.
You know what this feels like? Feels like this guy's about to, like, sell something. We're gonna sit here. So we can see it pop out. But I want to see if another vehicle goes inside.
It could have gone off-road, potentially.
I don't think you can. Hold on. Watched it. Look to your right.
I'm looking. Yeah, there's a blue Astron.
Grade 8, 23 CMC.
You see that?
Yeah. We're gonna go. Fuck. That's not the best way. Fuck it. We need to double check it's still there. It's still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. All right. We want to look to the right, see if it ever pulls out. Also, look to see if anything else comes in. This is probably random as shit. It's just, I felt like he saw us and he tucked in there. And why? Right? Like, that's not normal behavior, you know? Chat, what day is it?
Wait, you see that? Wait, they're driving past.
Yeah.
There's J Hubs.
Yeah.